Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins All World, where we dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we have something really special for you, the United States $1 dime from 1991. At first glance, it might seem like just another dime, but if you look a little closer, you could find yourself holding a coin that's worth far more than just 10 cents. You've probably heard of some high-value coins, like rare pennies, quarters, or even silver dollars. But today, we're shining the spotlight on the 1991 dime, a coin that has quietly become a collector's dream. Whether it's an error coin, a rare mint variety, or just a coin in exceptional condition, the 1991 dime could be worth far more than its face value. Trust us, by the end of this video, you might just be looking at your own collection in a whole new light, so, sit tight, grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into the incredible world of the 1991 dime, the mint marks, and what makes it so valuable. Before we jump into the value of this little coin, let's take a quick look at what was happening in the US in 1991. The economy was in a bit of a slump, with the country just coming out of a recession. It was a time when people were pinching pennies, and the US Mint was busy cranking out coins for everyday use. The 1991 dime was produced in large quantities as part of the regular annual coinage, and its design was no different from the dime that had been circulating for decades. However, this seemingly ordinary coin would eventually catch the attention of collectors for a few key reasons. Although the 1991 dime was struck in the traditional way, some examples would be affected by minting errors, which are extremely rare and often highly prized by coin collectors. If you happen to come across a 1991 dime with a significant error or in pristine uncirculated condition, you might be looking at something that could be worth a small fortune. Let's now talk about the design of the 1991 dime. On the obverse, the front side of the coin, we see the classic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek. Roosevelt has been featured on the dime since 1946, and his image symbolizes the values of service, leadership, and patriotism. On the reverse of the coin, we find a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, which are symbolic of liberty, peace, and strength. This design, which was created by John R. Sinek as well, is clean, simple, and elegant, making the dime one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. But here's the thing. While the design may seem ordinary, it's the mint marks and condition that can really drive the value of a 1991 dime up. A coin that looks like it was just pulled from the mint or has a rare error could make it worth far more than you might expect. Just like with other coins, the mint mark plays an important role in determining the rarity and value of a 1991 dime. The mint mark indicates where the coin was struck, and in 1991, the U.S. Mint operated three major facilities: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Dimes produced at the Philadelphia Mint in 1991 typically don't have a mint mark. These are considered the most common type of dimes from this year, but they're still important to collectors, especially if they're in excellent condition or have a minting error. Denver Mint, D. Dimes minted in Denver have the D mint mark. These are more common than some other dimes, but they can still be valuable, especially if they were struck with minting errors or are in high-grade condition. San Francisco Mint, S. While the San Francisco Mint didn't produce regular circulation dimes in 1991, it did strike a limited number of proof dimes that were intended for collectors. Proof coins are struck with higher quality dies, and they have a special mirror-like finish. If you happen to find a 1991 proof dime, especially in pristine condition, it could be worth significantly more than a standard circulation dime. Now, here's the real secret to finding a high-value 1991 dime: minting errors. When something goes wrong during the production process, the result can be a rare, valuable mistake that could set a coin apart from all others. And, when it comes to dimes from 1991, there are several types of errors that make certain coins especially desirable for collectors. 1. Double die errors. One of the most common and most valuable minting errors is the double die error. This happens when the die strikes the coin more than once, causing part of the design to be doubled. If you find a 1991 dime with a double die error on the obverse or reverse, you could be looking at a coin that is worth significantly more than a standard 1991 dime. Double die errors are especially valuable when they appear in key spots like Liberty or In God We Trust. Point 2. Off-center strikes. Another error to look out for is the off-center strike, which happens when the planchet, the metal blank, is not aligned properly during the minting process. The result is a coin with a shifted design. Part of the coin will be blank, while the rest of the design may be cut off or poorly aligned. These errors are highly prized by collectors, especially when the shift is large. Point 3. Clipped planchets. A clipped planchet happens when the planchet is improperly fed into the minting press, causing a chunk of the coin to be missing. This error creates a coin with an unusual or irregular shape. The more extreme the clip, the more valuable the coin. A 1991 dime with a clipped planchet can fetch a premium if it's in good condition. Point 4. Die cracks and cuds. Die cracks occur when the die used to strike the coin starts to crack or break down, creating raised lines or bumps on the coin's surface. Sometimes, these cracks create cuds, which are raised areas of metal that form where a piece of the die is missing. Dimes with visible die cracks or cuds can be worth more to collectors who specialize in error coins. Point 5. Wrong planchet errors. In rare cases, dimes can be struck on incorrect planchets. This could mean a 1991 dime was struck on a quarter planchet, a nickel planchet, or even a blank piece of metal meant for a different coin. These are extremely rare errors, and if you find one, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. When it comes to valuing coins, condition is key. A 1991 dime in mint condition is worth more than one that's been through years of circulation. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins are graded using a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A graded coin in MS 65 or higher, meaning it has minimal wear and retains sharp details, will always fetch more money from collectors. If your 1991 dime is in pristine, uncirculated condition with a rare error, it could be worth far more than the typical dime. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal. How much is a 1991 dime really worth? If you have a rare minting error or a coin in excellent condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Ready? Here it is. A 1991 dime with the right minting error or in mint condition could be worth as much as $50,000. Yes, you heard that right, $50,000 for a single 1991 dime. Whether it's a double die error, off-center strike, or some other rare mistake, this little coin could bring in a massive return. And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into the 1991 one-dime coin. We hope you've enjoyed learning about how this seemingly simple coin can hold tremendous value. So, if you have any 1991 dimes sitting in your collection, be sure to check them closely. You might just have a $50,000 treasure on your hands. Today, we're talking about a coin that you may not have thought much about, but could be hiding a huge surprise: the United States one dime from 2001. At first glance, this might seem like just another run-of-the-mill dime, right? It's small, it's silver-colored, and it has the same design we've seen on dimes for decades. But trust me, when it comes to rare coin collecting, the 2001 dime has something truly special going on. From minting errors to pristine, uncirculated examples, this seemingly humble dime could be worth far more than its face value. So, if you have any dimes from 2001 lying around in your collection or even in your change jar, make sure to stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be holding onto a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. Before we dive into the details of the 2001 dime, let's set the stage for a moment. The year 2001 was an interesting one for the United States. The country was coming off the tech boom of the late 1990s, and the economy was beginning to experience a slowdown. The dot-com bubble burst in early 2001, leading to a brief recession, but the economy was still functional. It was a time of transition, and the U.S. Mint was busy making coins to keep up with the needs of the public. The 2001 dime was part of the regular annual coinage and, like other dimes in circulation, featured the well-known image of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. These designs have been the standard for dimes since 1946, and they continue to be some of the most recognizable features of U.S. coinage. But what really makes the 2001 dime so intriguing isn't the design, it's the mint marks, condition, and the rare minting errors that collectors are now hunting for. Let's quickly go over the design of the 2001 dime. As mentioned, on the obverse we find a portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. This design, which was created by John R. Sinek, has been featured on the dime since 1946, shortly after Roosevelt's death. The portrait represents Roosevelt's leadership, strength, and his role in guiding the U.S. through the Great Depression and World War II. On the reverse we see the torch, the olive branch, and the oak branch. These symbols have long represented freedom, peace, and strength, values that are key to the American spirit. The design was created by John R. Sinek as well and has been in place since 1946. This design is beautiful, classic, and timeless, but it's not the design itself that makes the 2001 dime worth more than its face value. It's the mint mark and condition that can make it a collector's prize. Just like with other U.S. coins, the mint mark plays a huge role in determining the rarity and value of the 2001 dime. In 2001, dimes were struck at several U.S. mint locations, and each location used its own mint mark to identify where the coin was produced. Let's take a look at the 3 possible mint marks you could find on a 2001 dime. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Dimes struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 2001 do not have a mint mark, so these are often referred to as the no mint mark dimes. These are the most common type of 2001 dime, but even they can be valuable if they are in uncirculated condition or have minting errors. Denver Mint, D. Dimes produced at the Denver Mint feature the D mint mark. These dimes are more common than those struck in San Francisco, but they still have value, especially if they are in excellent condition or show signs of rare errors. San Francisco Mint, S. The San Francisco Mint is known for striking proof coins, and in 2001, a limited number of proof dimes were produced here. These coins are specially made for collectors and have a mirror-like finish that distinguishes them from regular circulation coins. If you come across a 1991 proof dime with the S mint mark, it could be a much more valuable find. So, what really makes the 2001 dime valuable to collectors? Minting errors. When something goes wrong during the minting process, you end up with rare, collectible errors that can be worth a lot more than a standard dime. Here are some of the most sought-after errors in the 2001 dime. 1. Double die errors. One of the most valuable types of minting errors is the double die error. This happens when the die strikes the coin multiple times, causing the design to appear doubled. The doubling is often most noticeable on the inscriptions, like Liberty or In God We Trust. If you find a 2001 dime with a double die error, you could be holding a coin worth a small fortune. 2. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet, the metal blank, is not properly aligned in the minting press. As a result, part of the design is cut off or shifted to one side of the coin. These errors can be dramatic, and the more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes to collectors. If you spot a 2001 dime with an off-center strike, you might have a treasure on your hands. 3. Clipped planchets. A clipped planchet occurs when the metal planchet, disc, is not properly cut before being struck, leaving a chunk missing from the coin. These coins often have an irregular, odd shape, making them highly collectible. If you find a 2001 dime with a clipped planchet, don't let it slip through your fingers. 4. Die cracks and cuds. A die crack forms when the die used to strike the coin cracks or develops a flaw. As a result, the coin may show visible raised lines or even bumps in the design, known as cuds. These are often caused by damaged dies that continue to strike coins even after they've begun to break down. Coins with die cracks or cuds can be very rare, and they are highly sought after by collectors. 5. Wrong planchet errors. Sometimes, a dime can be struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. For example, if a dime is struck on a quarter planchet, it will appear larger than normal and will have a distinctive appearance. These wrong planchet errors are very rare, and a 2001 dime struck on a wrong planchet could be worth considerably more than a typical dime. The condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its value. A 2001 dime that's been through heavy circulation will be much less valuable than one in uncirculated or mint state condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. If you find a 2001 dime that looks brand new, with sharp details and no signs of wear, it's likely a highly collectible coin. Coins that are graded MS 65 or higher, mint state, excellent quality, can command a premium price in the collector's market. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. How much is a 2001 dime really worth? If you've got one of these dimes in perfect condition, or even one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a highly valuable coin, ready for the big reveal. A 2001 dime with the right minting error, in pristine condition, or with a rare proof finish could be worth as much as $55,000, yes, you heard that right, $55,000 for a single dime. Whether it's an off-center strike, a double die error, or a proof coin in flawless condition, this little dime could turn into a huge payday for the lucky collector. And there you have it. The 2001 dime is much more than just a coin, it's a potential treasure trove for collectors and coin enthusiasts. If you have any 2001 dimes in your collection, make sure to check for errors or any signs that could increase its value. Who knows? You could be sitting on a $55,000 treasure. Today, we have a coin that may seem like just another dime from the 21st century, but believe it or not, the 2016 United States $1 dime could be hiding a serious surprise in your collection. You might be wondering, what's so special about a dime from 2016? Well, let me tell you, there's more to this little coin than meets the eye. From rare minting errors to high demand, pristine examples, this 2016 dime has quietly become one of the most sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. So, grab your magnifying glass and your coin collection, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why your 2016 dime could be worth a whole lot more than you ever imagined. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of the 2016 dime, let's take a quick look at what was going on in the United States around the time these dimes were minted. In 2016, the U.S. was coming off a period of economic recovery after the Great Recession, with the job market improving and economic growth beginning to stabilize. However, there was still a sense of uncertainty in the air, and people were focusing on their finances, keeping a close eye on their money. The U.S. Mint was still busy producing coins for daily use, and that year, they churned out millions of dimes to meet public demand. The 2016 dime, like the dimes before it, featured the classic design of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and the traditional torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. But, as always, it's not just the design that determines a coin's value, it's the mint marks, errors, and condition that can elevate a coin from being worth just 10 cents to a valuable collector's item. The design of the 2016 dime is pretty much the same as dimes from the past several decades, but let's still take a moment to appreciate it. On the obverse, we have the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt has been featured on the dime since 1946, shortly after his death. His image symbolizes leadership, strength, and perseverance, values that have defined Roosevelt's legacy as he led the country through the Great Depression and World War II. On the reverse, we have the torch, the olive branch, and the oak branch. These symbols stand for liberty, peace, and strength. The design was created by John R. Sinek and has remained unchanged since 1946, making it one of the most recognizable and enduring designs in U.S. coinage. While the design of the 2016 dime may be familiar, it's the mint marks, rarities, and errors that could make this particular coin extremely valuable. As with most U.S. coins, the mint mark on a 2016 dime is crucial to understanding its rarity and value. The mint mark indicates where the coin was struck, and in 2016, dimes were produced at several U.S. mint locations. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Dimes produced at the Philadelphia Mint in 2016 typically do not have a mint mark. These are the most common type of dimes, and they're easy to find in circulation. However, don't be too quick to dismiss them. They can still be valuable if they're in excellent condition or have minting errors. Denver Mint, D. Dimes struck at the Denver Mint feature the D mint mark. These are also relatively common, but certain errors or high-quality coins can make them stand out. If you come across a 2016 dime with the D mint mark in perfect condition, it could have more value than you think. San Francisco Mint, S. The San Francisco Mint primarily strikes proof coins for collectors, and in 2016, they produced a limited number of proof dimes. These proof coins are struck multiple times with special dies, giving them a mirror-like finish that sets them apart from regular circulation coins. 2016 proof dimes are especially valuable to collectors, so if you have one, hold on to it. Now here's where the magic happens: minting errors. This is where a simple dime can become an extraordinary treasure. Errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, and they can make a coin significantly more valuable. For the 2016 dime, here are some of the most sought-after errors that could increase its value. 1. Double die errors. One of the most prized minting errors is the double die error. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned and strikes the coin more than once, creating a doubled image. On a 2016 dime, you might find a double die error in key areas like the inscription, Liberty, or **** in God we trust. If you spot this on your dime, congratulations, you could have a rare and valuable coin. 2. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike happens when the planchet, the metal disc, isn't aligned properly when it's struck by the die, causing part of the design to be off-center or missing. This error can range from a slight shift to a dramatic misstrike. The more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. If you find a 2016 dime with a noticeable off-center strike, it could be worth a lot more than a standard dime. 3. Clipped planchets. A clipped planchet happens when the planchet, metal disc, is not fully cut during the minting process, leaving a portion of the coin missing. The resulting coin will have an irregular shape, making it a rarity. If you find a 2016 dime with a clipped planchet, it's definitely worth checking its value, as these errors are prized by collectors. 4. Die cracks and cuds. As coins are struck, the die used to make the design can become damaged over time, causing cracks or cuds to appear on the coin. A die crack appears as a raised line on the coin, often in areas where the die has started to deteriorate. A cud is a raised lump of metal on the coin, often caused by a missing part of the die. Die cracks and cuds can be valuable because they signify a rare minting flaw that makes the coin unique. 5. Wrong planchet errors. A wrong planchet error happens when a coin is struck on the wrong type of planchet, meaning it was intended for a different denomination. For example, a 2016 dime could be struck on a quarter planchet, which would make it slightly larger than a normal dime. If you find a 2016 dime struck on the wrong planchet, it could be worth significantly more than a regular dime. As with any coin, the condition is crucial in determining its value. A 2016 dime in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in circulation, will be worth far more than a coin that has been through years of daily transactions. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. If your 2016 dime is in mint state or has been preserved in excellent condition, it could fetch a premium price in the collector market. Coins graded MS 65 or higher are highly sought after by numismatists and can demand big bucks. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. How much could your 2016 dime be worth? If you happen to have a rare minting error, a pristine uncirculated coin, or even a limited edition proof coin, the value could be far higher than just 10 cents. Ready for the big reveal? A 2016 dime with the right minting error, in perfect condition, or even with a proof finish could be worth as much as $58,000. Yes, you heard that right, $58,000 for a single dime. Whether it's an off-center strike, a double die error, or a proof coin in flawless condition, this small coin could turn into a massive windfall for the lucky collector who stumbles upon it. And that's it for today's video. The 2016 dime is so much more than just a coin, it's a potential treasure, waiting to be discovered. If you find any 2016 dimes in your collection, be sure to check them closely for minting errors, pristine condition, or any other special features that could make them worth a small fortune. Today's video is one you won't want to miss. We're going to be talking about a coin that you may have overlooked at first glance, the 2002 United States 1 dime. This may seem like a typical dime from the early 2000s, but trust me, it's far more valuable than you might think. In fact, this 2002 dime could be worth a small fortune, and we're about to dive into why this seemingly simple coin is causing such a stir among collectors. From rare minting errors to pristine uncirculated examples, the 2002 dime is quietly gaining value, and if you've got one in your collection, it could be your ticket to a big payday. So, make sure you watch until the end because we're going to reveal just how much this 2002 dime could be worth in today's market. Let's get started. Before we get into the exciting details of the 2002 dime, let's take a quick look at the year itself. The early 2000s were an interesting time for the United States. The country had just recovered from the dot-com bubble burst, and the early part of the decade was marked by economic uncertainty. Despite this, the U.S. Mint was still cranking out coins for everyday transactions, including the 2002 dime. In 2002, the U.S. economy was moving forward, albeit with a sense of caution. The war on terror was in full swing, and the country was still adjusting to the post-9/11 world. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint continued producing everyday coins, and the 2002 dime was just one of many pieces of currency that went into circulation. But this particular dime has started to gain traction as a highly sought-after collectible. Although 2002 dimes were produced in large numbers, some are finding their way into collectors' hands, and it turns out, some of them are worth much more than their face value. Let's take a closer look at what makes the 2002 dime such an exciting find. As with many U.S. coins, the design of the 2002 dime plays a significant role in its overall value, though it's not the only factor. On the obverse of the coin, we have the well-known portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. This image has graced the dime since 1946, shortly after Roosevelt's death, as a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. On the reverse, the design features the familiar torch, olive branch, and oak branch, which symbolize liberty, peace, and strength. These symbols have remained on the dime since 1946, created by John R. Sinek, and continue to represent American values. So, while the design of the 2002 dime may not be radically different from the dimes you see in your everyday change, it's still important to appreciate its symbolism and historical significance. Now, let's dig into the details that make the 2002 dime a rare and valuable find. Just like any other U.S. coin, the mint mark on a 2002 dime plays a crucial role in determining its value. The mint mark indicates where the coin was produced, and the 2002 dime could have come from one of several U.S. mint locations. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Dimes struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 2002 do not have a mint mark, which makes them slightly more common. These are the types of dimes you'll most likely encounter in circulation. However, even a Philadelphia dime can be valuable if it's in pristine condition or has a minting error. Denver Mint, D. Dimes struck at the Denver Mint carry the D mint mark. These dimes are more common than those struck in San Francisco but can still have significant value if they are in excellent condition or possess rare errors. San Francisco Mint, S. The San Francisco Mint produces coins for proof sets and special issues, and in 2002, they struck proof dimes. These dimes have a mirror-like finish and are often packaged as part of a proof set for collectors. If you've got a proof dime from 2002, you could be holding a valuable piece of U.S. coinage. So, what makes the 2002 dime worth so much more than just 10 cents? The answer lies in minting errors and rarities. When something goes wrong during the minting process, it can result in a rare coin error that significantly boosts its value. Here are some of the most sought-after errors on the 2002 dime. 1. Double die errors. One of the most valuable errors you can find on a 2002 dime is a double die error. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned, causing part of the design to appear doubled. If you look closely at the inscription "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," you might spot a subtle doubling effect. Double die errors are highly sought after by collectors, and a 2002 dime with a noticeable double die could fetch a high price point too. Off-center strikes. Another rare error to look for is an off-center strike. This happens when the metal blank, or planchet, isn't properly aligned in the minting press, causing part of the design to be cut off. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the rarer the coin. A 2002 dime with an off-center strike could be worth a lot more than a standard dime, depending on how far off-center the design is. 3. Clipped planchets. A clipped planchet occurs when the metal planchet, blank, used to strike the coin is improperly cut, leaving part of the coin missing. This results in a coin with an irregular shape, and these errors are considered highly collectible. If you find a 2002 dime with a clipped planchet, it could be worth a lot more than a typical dime, especially if the error is large or noticeable. 4. Die cracks and cuds. A die crack happens when the die used to strike the coin begins to crack, leaving a raised line on the coin. A cud is a raised lump of metal that forms when a piece of the die breaks off. Both of these errors occur when the die starts to deteriorate, and they can add significant value to a coin. If you spot a die crack or cud on your 2002 dime, it could be worth more than you expect. 5. Wrong planchet errors. Occasionally, dimes are struck on the wrong planchet, a coin blank intended for a different denomination. If you find a 2002 dime that has been struck on a quarter planchet or another type of blank, you could be in for a big surprise. Wrong planchet errors are very rare, and coins struck on the wrong metal are especially valuable. As with any rare coin, the condition of the 2002 dime is incredibly important. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins that are in uncirculated or mint state condition are much more valuable than those that have been in circulation. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. If you happen to have a 2002 dime that looks as if it just came from the mint, it could be worth much more than its face value. Coins graded MS 65 or higher are highly sought after by collectors and could command premium prices. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. How much could your 2002 dime be worth? If you have one in pristine condition, with rare minting errors, or perhaps even a proof finish from the San Francisco Mint, the value could be far more than just 10 cents. Ready for the big reveal? A 2002 dime with the right minting error, in excellent condition, or even a proof coin could be worth as much as $60,000. Yes, you heard it right, $60,000 for a single dime. Whether it's an off-center strike, a double die error, or a proof coin in mint condition, this little dime could be your ticket to a massive payday. And that's it for today's video. If you've got a 2002 dime in your collection, make sure to give it a close inspection. It could be worth much more than you ever thought. Check for minting errors, proof finishes, and perfect conditions. You never know, you might be holding a $60,000 treasure. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that might be sitting in your collection right now, waiting to surprise you with its value, the 1980 United States 1 dime. Yes, you heard me right, a 1980 dime. At first glance, it may seem like just another dime from the late 20th century, but this particular coin could be worth a small fortune if you know what to look for. In fact, this humble dime, which was minted more than 4 decades ago, has recently become a hot commodity among collectors, with some specimens fetching prices that will absolutely blow your mind. If you're a coin enthusiast, numismatist, or just someone who enjoys finding hidden treasures, this video is definitely for you. So, stick with me as we dive into the fascinating world of the 1980 dime, its rarities, mint errors, and the jaw-dropping value this coin can have in today's market. Trust me, you won't want to miss the big reveal at the end of this video, so let's get started. Let's set the stage a bit and talk about the year 1980. It was a year of economic turbulence and political change in the United States. The country was grappling with high inflation, rising interest rates, and the aftermath of the 1970s oil crisis. On the global stage, the U.S. was involved in various geopolitical conflicts, and the Cold War was still a significant part of the international landscape. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins for everyday use, including the 1980 dime. Dimes, along with other coins like pennies, nickels, and quarters, were part of the circulating currency that made its way into the hands of Americans every day. But the 1980 dime, with its unique characteristics, has emerged as a favorite among collectors, especially those looking for specific minting errors or coins in exceptionally good condition. As we dig deeper into the design and rarities of the 1980 dime, you'll see why this coin is making waves in the world of numismatics. The 1980 dime features the same design that has been in use for decades. On the obverse of the coin, we have the famous portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt has been featured on the dime since 1946, shortly after his death, and his image is a symbol of strength and leadership, particularly in times of crisis. On the reverse of the coin, we have the familiar design of the torch, olive branch, and oak branch. These elements represent the ideals of liberty, peace, and strength, values that Roosevelt himself held dear. The design was created by John R. Sinek and has remained unchanged since 1946, making the Roosevelt dime one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. But even though the design of the 1980 dime may not be radically different from other dimes in circulation, it's rare minting errors and high-quality specimens that make this coin stand out in today's market. As with any coin, the mint mark plays an important role in determining the rarity and value of the 1980 dime. In 1980, dimes were struck at two primary U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Dimes struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1980 generally do not have a mint mark. These are the most common dimes, and you're likely to find many of them in circulation. However, even a Philadelphia dime can be valuable if it's in mint condition or contains a rare minting error. Denver Mint, D. Dimes struck at the Denver Mint feature the D mint mark. These coins are also quite common, but they can be worth significantly more if they're in excellent condition or contain errors that make them stand out. San Francisco Mint, S. The San Francisco Mint struck proof dimes in 1980. These are specially minted coins with a mirror-like finish and are often part of a proof set. Proof dimes are always in higher demand from collectors, and if you happen to find a 1980 proof dime in pristine condition, it could be worth far more than a regular dime. Here's where things get really exciting. The 1980 dime has been known to feature a number of minting errors and rarities that can drastically increase its value. Minting errors are mistakes that occur during the production process, and collectors love to find them because they make the coin unique. Here are some of the most valuable errors and varieties you should be on the lookout for. 1. Double die errors. The double die error is one of the most famous and valuable types of minting errors. This happens when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned, causing the design to appear doubled in certain areas. For the 1980 dime, look for doubled inscriptions like Liberty or *** in God We Trust. A double die error on a 1980 dime can significantly increase its value, and if the error is particularly noticeable, the coin could fetch a premium price. 2. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike occurs when the blank metal planchet, the disc used to strike the coin, is not properly aligned in the minting press. This results in part of the design being cut off, and the more severe the misalignment, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. If you come across an off-center 1980 dime, especially one with a dramatic misstrike, it could be worth considerably more than face value. 3. Clipped planchets. A clipped planchet error happens when the metal planchet used to strike the coin is incorrectly cut, leaving part of the coin missing. This results in a coin with an irregular shape. These types of errors are rare and highly sought after by collectors. If you find a clipped planchet 1980 dime, it could be worth much more than a regular dime, depending on the size and severity of the clip. 4. Die cracks and cuds. Die cracks and cuds are another type of error to look for on your 1980 dime. A die crack occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes damaged and forms a crack that leaves a raised line on the coin. A cud is a small raised lump of metal caused by a piece of the die breaking off. Both of these are considered valuable because they make the coin unique and can add significant value to a dime. 5. Wrong planchet errors. A wrong planchet error occurs when the 1980 dime is struck on a metal planchet intended for a different denomination. For example, a 1980 dime struck on a quarter planchet would be slightly larger and could be worth a lot more to a collector due to the incorrect metal being used. These errors are extremely rare, but if you have one, it could be worth several $1,000s. As with any rare coin, the condition of your 1980 dime is key to its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. If your 1980 dime is in uncirculated condition or has been preserved in a protective holder, its value could be much higher than a coin that has been worn down through circulation. Coins graded MS-65 or higher are especially prized by collectors, and even if you don't have a rare minting error, a high-grade 1980 dime in excellent condition could fetch a premium price. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much could your 1980 dime be worth? Well, if you happen to have a rare minting error, a pristine uncirculated example, or a proof coin from the San Francisco Mint, the value could be much higher than you think. Ready for the big reveal? A 1980 dime in excellent condition, with a valuable minting error, could be worth as much as $65,000. Yes, you heard it right, $65,000 for a single dime. Whether it's a double die error, an off-center strike, or a proof coin, your 1980 dime could be worth a fortune if you find the right one in your collection. That's it for today's video. If you've got a 1980 dime lying around, take a moment to check it out. You might just have a rare treasure in your hands. Keep an eye out for minting errors, proof coins, and pristine specimens. You never know when a simple dime could be worth thousands of dollars. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.